Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about the ruler of the fourth house posited in the first house in a natal horoscope. Well, as most of us know, fourth house governs home and family. In the first house is our personality and our, I guess you could say, it's connected with our facade and projection of self. So, the home can be a place where we project, our personality, the side that's more readily expressed to others. Could be a place of foundation where, that is strongly associated with our appearance, with the appearance of the person. This could be a placement where the person that has this position, their outward appearance, outside of their home may be somehow conjoined with their family life. So in other words, if things in the home are orderly and are fairly done, and there's organization in the home, the person will could very well be like a meticulous dresser and very good immaculate in their appearance. Now, if the home, is such where it's kind of, where it's tumultuous and chaotic, it's possible the person might reflect the person's appearance somewhat, or how they somewhat appear to others, which, is not, which can be connected, maybe the way that, they might be dressed, they might be somewhat disheveled, or they might just, appear somewhat melancholy and forlorn to other people. The home and family life, could really play an impact on the person's demeanor and their personality, and could play a role, how others, may perceive them. The family life, obviously, since we're talking about fourth and first houses, can be very paramount and instrumental, to this person just in general, and can figure prominently in their life scheme. The mother, or quite possibly the mother or a parent, could figure strongly in this person's, obviously played a very dominant role in shaping this person and how they act as far as their personality, their disposition and temperament goes. The home, also as most of it, I'm sure know, the fourth house can be associated with the end of life. So, the end of life and the person's personality, are somewhat maybe, say conjoined in a way that this person's end of life, when it gets to their latter years, it may be talked about, by themselves, to others frequently, and may somehow show, in their being, their end, the end of life could figure very prominently, in terms of the personality of this person at the time. People might pick up a change in disposition, for people that have this placement when they get toward their, I guess, their latter years, 60 and older. The fourth house can also be connected with foundations, and the foundation that this person has, in their early life, can play an integral role in how they, present themselves in their adulthood. The place, for home and family, in general, this person, can have a strong family life. It can be something where there is a great rapport and compatibility with family members. Many activities may be done with family. This could be a person that is strongly attached to his or her roots, and the roots of this person can play an integral role, in the person as far as their character goes and their just in their life and in general. What they learn, what they get out of the home, during the time that they're growing up, can very well, impact them later on in their life. So, and if it's for the good or the better, or if this is affected in an adverse way, a lot of that will be attributed to whether or not the ruling planet has predominantly good aspects or bad aspects. So that's something that can be, to factor in as well. If somebody has the ruler of the fourth house, and it's in the 12th house, but it's conjunct the ascendant, then a very similar, description would apply to them. Would be very similar to the fourth. Could almost equal the ruler of the fourth house posited in the first house. So I wanted to point that out as well. Well, people, that will conclude this YouTube astrological segment for the ruler of the fourth house posited in the first house in natal horoscope. Stay tuned next time, where I will be dissertating and talking about the ruler of the fourth house in the second house in a natal chart. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel, but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis on a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because a person astrologically is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.